Wow. This looks pretty good. Havenheith, which is dropping on March 23rd, is apparently RuneScape's biggest area expansion yet. But when I first saw the thumbnail talking about it, I thought for sure that it doesn't apply to me at all as a new RuneScape guy. You see, I'm a longtime old school RuneScape player, but recently over the last few weeks, I've taken a full, unguided approach to checking out modern RuneScape and seeing what it's all about from a new player perspective, as a guy coming from old school to see what the modern game's all about. And if you're an old school player watching this, you probably have the same thought process that I did, which is that anything that comes out for modern RuneScape is for all the people who are still playing all these 25 years later. It's gonna be all endgame, max level stuff because this version of RuneScape just hasn't been known to bring in a lot of new players recently. But you see, Jagex is really trying to bring modern RuneScape back into the spotlight. They're trying to bring the modern game back to its roots and trying to bring in people like you and me. I mean, are you kidding me? Look at that rebranding. It looks way better. Now, as someone who's gotten pretty hooked onto the modern version of the game going through this unguided Iron Man approach, Havenheith is going to be my first big expansion as a modern RuneScape player. So just wanted to share my thoughts from a new player perspective. So first, let's talk about the overall aesthetic. Are you kidding me, dude? This looks incredible. I mean, with modern RuneScape going so deep into the customization overrides over the last few years, you know, people walking around with plushy dolls and duck costumes and all of this stuff that just feels a little weird. The Havenheith aesthetic seems to be pulling away from all those kind of modern customizations and bring it back to more of that rugged, medieval, small town, wilderness exploration as an adventurer feel. Which, while I'm sure there are plenty of people who like the over-the-top customization, animation, craziness of modern RuneScape, I would like to think that the majority of players, and especially those that they're trying to bring back to the game, appreciate this aesthetic change. Or should I say this aesthetic shift back to the roots of RuneScape. I mean, not even just the general outdoor aesthetic, but all of the intricate designing that's going into the interior of the buildings in this village. I mean, look at this stuff. Dude, it looks so good. Now, what I'm a little confused on is the intro quest to get into this area, where it seems like we just get served a mysterious beverage and start hallucinating, and this brings us over to the new area or something. We're gonna have to really see how it plays out, but it's not necessarily the most enticing grab to go explore this place, but hopefully it plays out better. If there's anything I've learned so far is that RuneScape storytelling can be really good, but also can sometimes feel a little rushed. Another really enticing feature for someone like myself with this update is gonna be the two new bosses that they introduce. We've got Silver Quill and Ivar, both of which are supposed to serve as introductory boss encounters. Because if there's one thing that's really intimidating from my perspective of a longtime old school player who, yeah, I have a high total level in old school, but realistically I've stayed away from a lot of the end game content just because PVM can be so intimidating. I hear it's a whole new level in the modern RuneScape space. In a good way, that it can be really, really challenging and also really, really rewarding. But as a new player, it's all very intimidating to go into. So the fact that these two bosses can be done at a lower level and introduce you to a lot of the mechanics you'll see later on. I mean, come on, look at, this guy's fighting in adamant armor. I think we're gonna figure this out okay. I'm excited to try them out. And hopefully, in conjunction with the recent combat rework that modern RuneScape has had, hopefully it leads to a really smooth and fun and rewarding bossing experience. I, for one, am very much looking forward to it. And I'm hoping I can walk away from that boss experience being able to tell people who might be curious about checking out modern RuneScape that, oh yeah, these two new bosses from Havenheith, the new zone they released, are like super fun and really get you acquainted with your spells, abilities, and mechanics. Like, I would just love to say that to someone. Apparently the Hunter skill cap is being raised to 110. As an old school player, I'm still getting like my head wrapped around the fact of skills going above 99, but let's just say I'm not gonna be touching the level 110 hunter content anytime soon. I think my hunter is dead ass level like 3 or 4 right now. But one skilling thing that is very enticing is the new summoning obelisks they're going to do. Listen, if there's one thing so far in skilling that is like, makes no sense at all to a new player, it's summoning. You get a very basic intro quest in the Burthorpe area that doesn't really teach you much. It seems like summoning is very convoluted with its shards and pouches and bones, and as an Iron Man, I'm just freaking out about all these bones I have to go get, but don't I need bones for necromancy too? So do I need to pick up every bone of everything I kill? Anyway, apparently the new summoning obelisks allow you to potentially use less materials or save materials while getting bigger XP boosts, which can be nice in the early game levels. That sounds very appealing to someone like me. There are these new colored moths that you can catch that give you these summoning charms. Gathering these summoning charms has been freaking me out a little bit because I've only seen a handful of them in my entire experience so far. The new fishing farming thing seems pretty cool. I don't have any idea what that's all about, if fish farms are a new thing or something that already exists. But there's also a new catchable fish, the large crayfish, or the big crayfish, I can't remember. You can do it at level 82, which seems like a weird level because I was looking through the skills menu and it seems like there's decent stuff to catch in the low 80s already. But I don't actually know if it's like the same kind of AFK catching like you would for lobsters in Catherby. Because if it is, I feel like it would fit better somewhere between like monkfish and regular sharks. That's a pretty big gap to close, just in both versions of the game, really. So, I don't know, educate me. I don't know what I'm talking about. How is fishing in these like mid to late levels? Is this a good spot, 82? I don't know. And of course, this is only part 1 of the Haven Height release schedule. So the later parts are gonna be focused more around endgame players, which is great because, again, that's probably the majority of the population that plays right now. And I know Jagex is trying to change that, and hopefully this update can bring some new folks in. I know that I'm gonna be covering it as much as possible, and I'm personally very excited. I just love to see when companies are trying to really make the efforts to bring people in. Not just say it, but actually do things to try to bring people in. This Haven Height Part 1 is a great example of that. Like, most of their player base are endgame players. Why would they bother spending all this time on these low-end bosses and low-end skilling and things like that? Because they're trying to bring the people back. And damn it, I'm having a great time with RuneScape right now, and I'm really excited to see what this is all about. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Haven Height release. You know, if you're a longtime player of modern RuneScape, you know, share your thoughts. If you're an old school person, share your thoughts. Does this look enticing? Does it look like crap? You tell me. Hey, but be sure to subscribe if you want to see my unguided, no wikis, no quest guides, no nothing journey through the RuneScape experience, as authentic as it gets. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.